Are you a busy mom that wants to feel more energized, more vibrant, more strong and confident, and you want the same for your family? I was you. I was there. And I am here to support you and to share how I used consistent movement every day as a way for me to achieve all of that and then even more. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in learning more about, definitely keep watching. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Sara. I am a family physician, a mom of 5, ages 7 and under, a wife, and an exercise enthusiast. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so glad that you're here. This is a place, like I said, that supports moms that are wanting to move for whatever reason, and we're going to get more into the beginning of that today. If you are looking for a place of support where there's no judgment, no matter what phase of life you're in, no matter what body shape you have, no matter if you have never moved at all, if you used to be a competitive athlete and you're not moving now, if you're moving every single day, everyone is welcome here. So if that all sounds good to you, definitely subscribe for more, ring the bell so you don't miss any videos. So like I said, welcome back. I wanted to talk about how, really my kind of like my first foundational thing that I did that unlocked being able to consistently exercise or consistently move again. So I have a history of being a competitive athlete. I was a swimmer basically from the age of 5 through college. So I swam all the way through college. Anybody that's ever been an athlete or on a team knows that typically your workouts are prescribed by a coach. So when you then graduate college and you maybe are no longer on a team, which was my experience, there was a transition there figuring out how am I going to get moving. Eventually, after some trial and error, I did figure out things that worked for me and how to get moving. And then that led into me getting into medical school, and then I got married, and then I started having all these babies. And I remember a point in time when I was probably 6 months postpartum with my first child, my daughter, and I was beating myself up almost every single day about not moving in the way that I wanted to. So I had this definition of what exercise was for me that had been essentially ingrained in me from childhood through college, which was you are out there for like at a minimum 30 minutes, but that was like a super short workout. It usually was 45 minutes to an hour. You're sweaty, there were all these components to it that I felt I had to meet that criteria of actually exercising. Because I was a brand new attending, which if you're not a physician, you go to medical school, then you do residency, which is where you're doing your training, and then you're called an attending, which is now you can fully function as a doctor on your own. You don't have to talk about anything with anybody that's more further trained than you. Like that's it. It's your ultimate training. So I was brand new to that. I was postpartum and there were just a lot of things going on. And I had this history of having been pretty regularly active daily. And now all of these life changes were happening, and I could not meet the definition that I had in my mind that had been ingrained in me for so long. And because I couldn't meet that definition, I decided to do nothing. And every single day, I would beat myself up about not moving in the way that I wanted to, not being the role model to my daughter in the way that I wanted to be, all of these different things. And it was one day, at this point, I'm not exactly sure like how far along postpartum I was, but I was definitely back to work. And I was in a room with a patient having a conversation that was similar to many that I've had over the years since I have been a doctor, which was talking about movement and how important it was for this, for this patient's life and all of these different benefits they could see and all of the effects it would have on their medical conditions. And in typical fashion, there were a lot of barriers, which is very common for many people, right? Like, I can't find the time, I don't have the money, all of these things that come up. And what I always would say to patients is, can you find 1 minute a day to move? And I was talking to this patient, and that sentence came out of my mouth. And somehow in that moment, it clicked in my brain. Why am I not listening to my own advice? I'm at home every day beating myself up because I have this definition. I need to change the definition. So it was literally this moment of, I need to redefine what exercise, what movement is for me. And so I started there. I went back to the beginning, and it was like, okay, can we move for a minute a day? I also started thinking about what counts as movement, because when I thought about that, I realized, looking backwards, I was taking my daughter and my two dogs out for a walk, plus or minus my husband, depending on if he was at work or not, or, whatever, whoever was joining us for the walk. But I was there with the dogs and my daughter every single day. And we walked, at a minimum, it was 15 minutes, but sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 45, depending on the weather and where she was at in her day. I never counted that as movement. That to me was not exercise. I wasn't moving my body intentionally, and I wasn't defining it as exercise, so it just didn't count. And so I spent all those months doing that, beating myself up that I wasn't on the treadmill breaking a sweat, like running my 4 or 5 miles that I had been doing before I had her, before I delivered my daughter. So that moment where I redefined it, it unlocked this whole new level of being able to be consistent with movement. Because when I changed the definition for my phase of life, and I started celebrating those wins, no matter what they were, writing them down, walk the dog for 30 minutes, up and down the stairs for 2 minutes, parked further away at the grocery store. These little small actions that maybe feel insignificant in the moment, they add up over time. And as you build and build and add, you can progress. And so since that first baby, every pregnancy, every delivery, every postpartum, and like I said in the beginning, I am now a mom of 5. I have, at the time of this recording, a 3-month-old, and my oldest is about 7 and a half-ish almost. So I've had a lot of these transitions. Every time I take a minute and I redefine it, and I give myself grace for where I am in that phase of life. And the whole point of this video, and really this channel, is to let you know that you can do it too. You can absolutely redefine it. You can show up for 1 minute a day because that feels doable, and that absolutely counts. And the idea is, over time, as you take these small actions, you build confidence in yourself, you recognize yourself as somebody that moves consistently, and then you can build and expand and grow on those goals. And when you surround yourself, with things like this channel, or maybe people that you can find in your life that are like-minded and feel similarly, the sky is the limit. Things can explode for you. And really, this idea was the reason for why I started this channel and started this journey, and now feel like I'm on this, like, wanting to create a movement of getting moms moving, because it can help them and their families achieve these amazing, mind-blowing physical and mental health wins. And it can be simple. It can be anytime, anywhere type of activity. When I was in that initial postpartum period with my first daughter, part of the reason why I did nothing was that mindset of, I can't meet my definition. But also part of it was, when I went online to try to find things to do, I felt like everywhere I turned, it was somebody that was 4 weeks postpartum, that was looking incredibly fit, like doing all these bananas workouts. And I just kept thinking, like, that's not me anymore. I'm not that athlete, so I can't do this. And there just wasn't a lot of, like, relatable, real content that understood having a new baby, but also wanting to incorporate movement in a way that feels doable and reasonable, and then build on that as you grow. And so I, again, created this channel, all of these things that I'm talking about, because I want to be there for that mom, for all of you, all these moms that want to get moving, are wanting to see all that stuff I talked about in the beginning, more energy, feeling vibrant, feeling strong and confident, and in yourself as a mom, as a role model, as all these things you show up to in life. And you can do it. You can do it for you. You can do it for your kids, for your family, whoever is your why in your life, but most importantly for yourself. So if you are here for that, you want to learn more about how I did that, what you can do, all of these things, definitely subscribe for more, like this video, ring the bell so you don't miss any. If you want to be on my exclusive email list to get signed up for, to be the first to know about things upcoming, for example, live workout webinars that I host, I'm going to be doing more of those. I'm planning in the future to at some point figure out how to be live every day for my workout. I don't know what that will look like, but I think it would be awesome to start to create a community where we can be live and exercise together, whether or not we're doing the same thing or not. So sign up for my email list. It's drsaraionescu.com, and the link for the website will be in the description box. So what if you're a busy mom now and you are feeling sluggish and tired and you don't feel confident in your body and you have this lack of energy and you just feel like you're trying to survive the day instead of thriving? What if it could be the other way? What if you could be energized? You could thrive every day. You could feel more strong and more vibrant and more confident in you as a human and in your body. You can do this all through movement. So hop on in and join us. Bye, everyone.